What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Battlefield 6 video. If you're looking to improve your gameplay performance overall in Battlefield 6, then these 5 tips that I'm about to give you will certainly help you out. Just for some context, I started out the first 2 to 3 days of Battlefield 6's launch at about a 1.8 KD while I was still learning the maps and some of the weapons, and over the past couple of days, I've increased my overall KD to around a 3.0 flat, and just for full transparency, the only thing I've done is the jet practice on Portal. I haven't done any sort of portal farming at all. So I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I've done in my previous Battlefield videos. I'm going to go over these few tips that I think will help you improve, and then I'm going to ditch the live commentary that I usually do, and I'm going to go over the gameplay in more detail that you're going to see later, and I'm going to discuss my thought process behind those decisions and how I'm applying these tips to my own gameplay. Getting into the first tip, take care of your team. Knowing the strengths of your class that you pick will help you make better decisions. For example, if you're playing Engineer, you should probably focus on playing around your team's vehicles and keeping them alive while also assisting in doing damage to enemy vehicles. If you're playing support, you want to focus on keeping your squad and your team alive and stocked up on ammo. These things should go without saying, but we've all seen those players that are medics not reviving, engineers not repairing, vehicle commanders driving away from their engineers repairing them, resulting in a destroyed friendly tank. I could go on with countless examples, but you get the point. For tip number 2, shoot and move. It's not shoot or move, shoot and move. If you kill an enemy, especially without a suppressor, you've just given the enemy team information, and staying in the exact same spot that you're at will likely result in you dying. Whenever I kill an enemy player or get into a gunfight that results in a stalemate, I always try to move to cover or concealment. This doesn't mean that I move clear across the map after an engagement, but I try not to be in the exact same spot for whenever the enemy team eventually tries to get payback. Trust me, you're going to see several examples of this working in this video. Tip number 3. Now this tip mostly applies to you support players, but it's also going to be relevant to reviving squad mates. Now I know there's a certain Call of Duty YouTuber out there who's getting flamed right now because of his take on reviving teammates.
There's a tank between us and 6 guys down, and they want me to burst through the tank like I'm fucking Superman and res everybody. That ain't me. I'm not doing that.
And this is probably going to piss some of you off, but he's not entirely wrong. Even high-skilled players such as Enders have made it a point to let everyone know that not every revive is a good revive. Just because you can revive someone doesn't mean that you should. I see a lot of players that dive headfirst into a revive just for that revive player to instantly go down again, or they themselves just feed another kill to the enemy team. If you're going for a revive without either smoking for concealment or clearing the area, you're likely just going to achieve nothing other than a negative result. A downed teammate should be the first sign of immediate danger in your area, and you should make sure it's safe to go for that revive first. Tip number 4, traverse the map from cover or concealment. Utilize your environment, buildings, foliage, debris, literally anything you can think of to increase your chances of survival. The majority of my deaths are either from getting shot from behind or at an angle that I can't cover or avoid, so I do my best to minimize the amount of angles that I can get shot from when traversing the map. If you're running out in the open, you're just easy pickings for the enemy team. And tip number 5, the last tip I'm going to give you, is kill the ego. A lot of players, myself included, will die due to challenging gunfights we have absolutely no business taking. I've focused a lot more lately on trying to get the majority of my kills from flanking or taking only advantageous fights. Utilize your minimap, utilize your audio, and utilize your team for information, and use that to put yourself in the best position possible. Anyway, that does it for the tips. Now I'm going to go over the gameplay and show you how I am applying these. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, but also if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, consider smashing the like button like it owes you money. That does it for the tips. Let's get into the gameplay. All right, so getting straight into it here, you can see we're on Breakthrough Manhattan Bridge, and we just lost the first territory. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try and get to the rooftop adjacent of point A, because this is a very important rooftop to hold. I know you're probably thinking like, oh, how are you playing the objective if you're not on the objective? Well, I know this is adjacent to the objective, but this roof itself has a line of sight looking directly down onto point A, and maintaining control of it as attackers or defenders is extremely important. So I'm going to get these 2 revives here because, you know, we need all the help we can get, and I'm just going to set up a barricade right at this staircase so I have a little bit extra cover, because I'm looking for players coming up the zip line right now. I did see another one come up, but I gotta hope my team can deal with it. As I'm checking these other zip lines, I didn't have any audio cues or anything on that. I was just kind of predicting it. And so here's what I'm doing with the shooting and moving part. I'm moving back and forth between the side, you know, the halves of this roof, basically. I divide this rooftop into the gazebo's the middle. And so I predict another one coming up the zip line, get the free kill. I don't know how he got up there, but we're just going to take him out anyway. And so again, shooting and moving. Now I'm running through all the little nooks and crannies that I think someone could be hiding. And I really don't have to worry about anyone coming up the zip lines. Let's see, here's some more. I see another one come up. I've got a half a mag, so I reload and I rotate because I don't want to take that fight with half a mag. And either that recon guy spawned on him or I just didn't hear him come up the zip as well. But anyway, I shoot again, reload, rotate, and I'm jumping and peeking for information. I thought he was going to continue strafing left when I was shooting through the box, but he strafed right. It's okay. Couldn't see it. We ended up picking up the kill, and we wiped that entire squad, and we're going to keep moving around. But like I said, I don't really have to worry about them coming from the front zip lines very much because it's just a really bad lane for them to push. I'm going to smoke. I see teammates getting those revives. It was weird that animation didn't go off. But now I'm going back to the other half, cutting through the gazebo here, and I'm just checking for enemy players going up the zip line. But I noticed that they've taken B, so I've decided, okay, I'm going to get a little bit closer to the action here, and I'm going to go start holding at checkpoint A so that way they don't get pinched because I think my team's pretty much got the rooftop covered. And I'm just going to set up some cover. And there's an example of someone traversing through the open. They just got absolutely smashed. I take some shots, but I know this looks counterintuitive throwing those smokes there, but there's really only one lane that they can come through right there. So smoking off their line of sight is going to cut off their information and they're not going to push through as confidently. So as you can see, shoot, move. I didn't even know about the guy behind me, but shooting and moving, I'm just going to tuck in this corner here, and I'm going to listen for where he's going. I didn't even know about him, but just instinctively shooting and moving got me into a safe position where I can reset the fight and get back in. I see that he's clearing my teammates up top, and he's actually killed 3 people, but I got the radar blip. And I saw that he was coming down the stairs. And I see that the majority of my team just immediately respawned, so there's no point in getting revives there. I'm going to try and cut through this building and see if I can recover those LAV kills. I'm going to revive my squad mate. Looks like someone else already revived that other teammate. And now I'm just running towards B because I'm trying to help retake it. But then I noticed that A is getting captured, so I'm like, okay, I probably have a bit... So that was a bad fight for me to take, but I still won it, thankfully. And I know there's enemies behind me, but I'm going to commit to the revive. So committing to your decisions is a huge one. So as you can see, I'm shooting. I ended up taking a guy who got 2 kills. So what I ended up doing there was I got a kill and 2 revives. So I just turned us retaking A in our favor. And now we're just going to try and clear it. So me getting 2 revives and 1 enemy kill, it literally just negated anything that guy did. And then I die here, which is unfortunate, but, you know, we went basically, I mean, we're 17-4 at this point. It's not the greatest, it's not bad, but we've been doing a good job of really just harassing the enemy team. As a support player, I'm really just trying to get as many revives as I can safely and get as many kills as I can, because it harasses the enemy team, and any revives that I get basically negate the effort that they just put in. So we'll just get a revive on that medic real quickly here, and now I'm going to try and get the center between the 2 points. I'm going to try and help get control of that, and I'm going to go for these revives with concealment, but of course, squad mate, he respawns. Don't do that. Try and, unless you're in an absolute, like, you know you're gonna die spot or get someone killed trying to revive you, please don't do that. But like, if you notice that someone smokes you as soon as you go down, don't respawn because you're just gonna piss your medics off. And so right now I'm setting down some deployable cover, and I'm really just trying to hold off that lane from A to B so that way they can't push through it. And I know, again, it seems counterintuitive that I'm smoking this because it's like, oh, you're giving the enemy team concealment, but actually what I'm doing with those smokes here is I am denying the enemy team information. And here's an example of a bad revive. I should have smoked it before, and I actually felt really bad about this. But I see an enemy cross, and I decide to chase it because I've got concealment from behind. But then I get the audio cue for 2 people behind me, pick up those 2 kills, really nice, and then I go chase down the 3rd. Teammate picks up the kill. It's okay. Let's try and rotate back to our position here. Teammate respawns again, and at this point, I noticed some blips in the, some revive blips in the back of the objective, so I'm going to go and try and see how many of those I can pick up. Again, someone respawns when they don't know for sure if they're going to be able to get revived. Like I said, it's okay to do it if you know you're absolutely cooked, but if you see medics that are running towards you or they're throwing smoke and you're getting concealment, please don't respawn because it's just going to piss off your medics. So I see that we're getting grenaded there. I decide that's bad, so I just smoke it off and then rotate, so that way it's like, oh, is he going to push through the smoke? They don't know. Using smokes to cut off information is super, super important. And I decide to get a little bit of high ground here, and I decide to also multiply that by putting my deployable cover here just to get a higher angle on the people here. And I end up picking up about 3 kills, I think. I end up getting like 3 kills and 2 revives here. So yeah, I've already got 2 kills. Here's the revives, and then I get back up in my position, pick up the 3rd kill. One of my teammates is picking his nose, but it's okay. I've kind of held it, but at this point, they really just, even though I was doing my best to hold off my lane, I can't cover everything. And they ended up taking both objectives, and we lost the sector. I can't really remember what happened after this because I didn't save my replay buffer, or it didn't save or something, but we're 23-5, almost a 5.0 KD at this point in the match. And, we're just frying with the M4 and holding our sector. All right, so again, another breakthrough gameplay on defense. Sorry, I just didn't really have time to go through a lot of my conquest stuff, or not really conquest, but I've been playing a lot of escalation. What I'm trying to do here right off the rip is I'm trying to push the attacking team spawn just so that way I can kind of cut off a lot of their beginning forces that are maybe straggling or trying to rush. And as you can see, I see someone coming through that door here. I kill someone. I rotate immediately because I just made noise. I don't know how many are around him. And I get audio cues, get another pretty much free pick there because he just swings the corner wide. And now I'm really pushing deep into their spawn here to try and cut off basically anyone that has just been killed who's respawning. And I get a nice easy pick there, and teammate, of course, revives because, I don't know, that was kind of a good revive for the most part because the spawn was cleared. But since I made noise again, I'm going to do a big rotate, cut through the firehouse again. And then, of course, I just, I see another guy, I try and take him out. I don't know why he didn't run back towards his spawn, but he ran back towards me directly. He might not have seen where he was getting shot from. So now I'm going to try and smoke and go for another revive. But, of course, teammate respawns. I'm frustrated. I hate my life. So now I'm throwing more smoke into the enemy spawn, just trying to confuse them. And it looks like my team's kind of holding the objective down pretty well. Another teammate revives again, but all of a sudden I just see a red diamond here from a sniper who's in their spawn. A sniper holding that lane from their spawn on this map and breakthrough can actually really do a lot of damage to the defending team. And so now I see that they're actually taking the objective, so I'm going to try and make my way back. But of course I run into some resistance. And I just, spoiler alert, I'm not going to be able to make it back in time, but I'm just going to try and get as many picks as I possibly can on the way just to wear their tickets down a little bit. So, again, just cutting through the fire station here, I notice the sector's lost. It's okay. Usually this one is the first objective on this map for breakthrough. It usually gets taken either pretty quickly or it just gets held. It's either or. And I died to a grenade here because I should have ran away, but I was like, okay, I got kind of hyper focused on slaying there when I should have ran. But skipping ahead to the next objective here, I get a little defense set up over on the B objective, but I noticed that my team's kind of struggling on A, so I decide to rotate. I'm gonna go and get this revive here, but again, this is another example of bad revive. I didn't know that there were 3 enemies here. I didn't check it beforehand, and I just ran up with my defibs out. And then, of course, my teammate does the same exact thing, a bad revive. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to stop being stupid, and I'm going to reset the fight. That way I can get those picks and actually try and get some revives here. And I noticed my team sort of cleared it out, but I didn't really know where I was getting shot from. So I'm going to go back and get my heal to reset again, because again, I want to take fights where I'm at an advantage. I don't really want to take bad fights. I tried to smoke again for another revive. Teammate immediately respawns. So a lot of the effort that I'm trying to do of negating, or a lot of what I'm trying to do of negating the enemy team's effort and reviving their kills isn't really going in my favor, because a lot of my team is just instantly respawning, but it's okay. I'm going to make the best of it. Now, I see them come up this staircase here, and I don't want to re-challenge it immediately. I want to back off for a couple of seconds, maybe to make them think that I actually ran away, and then get them with a surprise pick when their guard's down. It ended up working for me. And now I'm just kind of trying to watch for any of the people, any of the enemy team coming from their spawn. I'm just checking every little nook and cranny possible. I see an enemy there. I get one kill. I noticed that he had a teammate, so I immediately ran downstairs to get my health regen going. And then I get the second pick. I noticed that he got the revive off, which seemed pretty quick, but I mean, he might have had enough time. And then I just end up cleaning up the kill. And so again, I'm just really running around any nook and cranny that I think the enemy team might be pushing in. I'm just listening for audio cues, and now I notice that they're going for B, so I'm going to go back over there and try and assist. I see that a teammate goes down, and that there's someone pretty much near our spawn where the zip line is that comes up to the outside of B objective. I try and get the pick. I whiff my shots, but I notice that there's a smoke, so I go for the revive really quickly. I'm kind of forced to take this fight at this point because I'm pinched between two people, but, you know, end up winning the fight. And, of course, teammate respawns again after, you know, I just cleared it. It's okay, though. And so now we're just looking for more info again. We cleared B. I noticed that they're going for A again. So again, I'm going to try and rotate back over. I don't want to just sit down and hold one objective because of what, like I said earlier from the last game, when I'm playing support, I'm really just trying to harass the enemy team as much as possible, and then also negate any of the effort that they're putting in by getting revives. So even though I'm still kind of hovering around B, I'm leaving myself close enough to where I can quickly get to A and help out, and that's of course what I decided to do here. Start going for, you know, a revive, but of course respawns again, but it's okay because I get a pick, and now I'm going to try and smoke this revive. Teammate ends up getting the revive, it's okay. And then this guy ran up, he was trying to get a revive without checking, ended up getting a free kill off of that. And now I'm just trying to cut off the enemy's push from any of their spawns. I kind of stole that because he got hit with an explosive, but you know, whatever, I'll take it. And now I'm just trying to help get some capture time on the objective, and I'm going to push straight through and kind of give us a little bit of concealment. And I'm just checking for anyone that might be hiding around in a corner looking to retake again. I didn't quite get the kill on that. I don't want to push him immediately because I know he's just going to get to a spot and turn around, and that's what he ends up doing to my teammate here. He gets a kill. Luckily, I get the trade, and I'm able to get the res and reload, and I'm back in the fight. And now I'm just going back down again, cutting through this container to go get a peek at their spawn. Because again, what I'm trying to do is, like, I noticed my team just got a bunch of kills, and another way to get some easy picks and wear down the enemy team's tickets in this mode is to go and cut off their respawns. Just get another kill of a guy laying there. Peek their spawn area again, and now I'm gonna go try and help clear the objective. I know they took B, but I know there's some people in A, and I gotta try and get those picks. Got the pick. I don't know where I'm getting shot from, so I just decided to completely back out of that fight. You know, I don't want to sit there and be trying to spray transition when I don't know. And of course, I don't understand why he pushed all the way out to chase me down when there were still people alive in the objective. We're 21-2 at this point, but I ended up getting flanked anyway, so it doesn't matter. But, you know, 21-2 at this point in the match. We're really wearing down the tickets, and a W teammate for coming and getting the revive. And I'm going to just reload and, again, get back in the fight and start looking for my next kills. I'm not necessarily just looking for the one kill that I can get. I'm looking to try and harass the team. It's like, hey, I get one kill. Okay, where do I think, you know, the enemy's going to be coming from? I was going to jump down and challenge that, but I saw that my team had it. And I'm kind of, again, I'm just looking for my next kill. Where can I cause the most damage? And I see that the guy who just killed my squad mate, he ran out. So I'm going to get a revive really quickly, and I'm going to try and push for that trade. And this is a really aggressive move here, but it ends up working. So I got the revive, got the trade, and now I'm just looking to clear out a objective. And again, I'm running back here, seeing if anyone's coming from spawn. I'm listening, looking for audio cues of just any, like, you know, like I said, easy picks are like when people aren't suspecting someone to be in their spawn. You can get a lot of pretty much free kills that way. I whiffed the shots on this second guy, so I decided to lay down, get cover, and I was going to rotate, but then of course, you know, just bad timing. And then my teammate's going to come around the corner. He's, you know, he should be expecting enemies since I'm down, but he just kind of, you know, wiggles back and forth, and he ends up going down too. And it's okay. We've worn down their tickets quite a bit so far during this second territory, and I'm not entirely disappointed with it. But of course, the enemy team ends up getting the objective captured here, but we've worn down about 50% of their reinforcements, so I'm okay with that. I smoke here, and I get a peek of someone getting a res really quick, and I just decide to spray through and end up getting a couple of nice picks off from it. They're probably pissed. It's okay. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to see if I can pick up a couple more kills here in their back line. Just to sort of harass them a little bit. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be going and getting set up in the next position, but I did it anyway, and as you can see, it got me killed. And not the best decision, but, you know, I was pretty confident in my ability to win gunfights against this other team at this point. So I spawn in, and I'm immediately getting engaged from the gazebo. I don't really want to engage it, but as you can see, that's why I really wouldn't want to engage something like that, because I didn't know how many there were or where I was getting shot from. Somehow, even though we really didn't kill anyone across the gazebo, my teammate gets a revive, and I just decide that those aren't really any fights that I want to take, so I'm going to get out, and I'm going to rotate and see if I can start getting something going somewhere else, mainly trying to cut off their spawns again. And so I get an enemy here, and I've got cover. The enemy here, he makes a bad decision by rotating back out to peek it, where he's got literally no cover, and his entire body and head are completely exposed. So that was just basically a free kill for me. And now I'm, you know, rotating back and forth between spawn points, lanes that they might run through, and I'm listening for audio cues. And, you know, I'll usually do this for about 10 seconds. And then I get bored and I rotate because, you know, I want to be where the action is, and I want to be causing as much damage as possible. And again, it works out for me. I end up picking up another kill there, and then I'm going to start picking up some revives. Even though I didn't get that revive, I still concealed it from my teammate because I'm smart. I use my noodle, and I try and go for an insta revive here. Luckily, my teammate respawned immediately because it made me get my gun up again. And I decided to be smart and make sure it was clear before going for the revive. And so I'm playing a lot closer to this objective because this final hill here on Breakthrough, it can get overtaken really fast. So I really don't want to be too far away from it. I get a revive there, and he ends up dying to a grenade immediately anyway. It's unfortunate. Not really anything you can do about a random nade. It is what it is. So again, I'm just shooting and moving. I'm trying to get a kill, rotate, and I'm really just trying to cut off the lanes that they're trying to push into the objective from. And so far, at this point, a lot of them have been coming from the gazebo. As you can notice, I've been looking back towards the previous territory and back towards the gazebo and the little underpass here, because that's where a lot of the enemy has been coming from. But you'll see here in a few seconds, they actually do switch up the routes that they take, which, you know, if you start pounding a team hard enough on their pushes, eventually they're gonna, you know, smarten up and decide to take a different route, and that is something you need to keep in mind. I whiff all my shots on this drone here because I haven't been aim training. I don't think I ever have, and I probably should though, because it'll probably improve these gameplays quite a bit. And again, I'm just throwing smokes out to deny enemy information on their push. I know it's like, oh, you're cutting off potential kills for your team, but no, it's really benefiting them because the enemy team has to, if they want to move up, they have to push through that smoke. And doing so, they're doing it blind, which puts my team at an advantage. That was just unlucky. I didn't see him crouched in one of our teammates' smokes, or sorry, he was laying prone. But a teammate gets me up, and I'm going to go for a revive here. And I'm not going to push straight into where he was. I kind of want to come at it from a different angle. And I get some damage there, but then, of course, I just end up going down because I'm in a bad spot. 30-4 at this point in the match. We're doing really good. I don't think I get revived here. The enemy teams, I think they get pretty close to taking the hill at this point. Yeah, so this is what I this is what I was saying when I mentioned earlier that if you start hitting a team hard enough from a certain route, they're gonna switch up routes, and you know that's exactly what they did. They started pushing from inside the building, a hard left side of the hill from the direction I'm looking at. And I notice I'm getting shot. I don't really know where. I can see it now in hindsight that he was way up on that roof, but I didn't know, so I really don't want to take that fight. And I just decided it's best to get out of there and get my health back and reset the fight. And so I'm just trying to set up defensive positions here that are making it easier for my team to hold. And unfortunately, I'm not really seeing anyone first. I'm kind of just looking for those picks, but we got the hill back. So now here's where I'm going to get a little bit risky and start cutting off more from their spawn. I see one more back here because I figured there was going to be more than one than the guy who just died, and I get that pick. And then I noticed they're all up on the gazebo again, and they might actually be up on the balcony literally right behind me. So I decide, you know, let's just check it. Let's smoke off their advance, and let's go back to the hill because I don't want to spend too much time away from the hill. Yep, start taking fire. That is another thing that's going to keep you alive too. If you take fire, you don't know where it's coming from. Don't ego challenge it. Just get out of there and reset. And now that I know that there's people coming from this way, I kind of want to get some picks. I noticed that they're really too far out, so I'm just going to spray. That's another thing you need to know too is the effective range of your weapon, like where you can reasonably take the range you can reasonably take certain fights from. And you really want to make sure you put yourself in good positions to be able to utilize that. And I see that they're sitting way back underneath that sky bridge. And it's just, I was going to go for the revive here again. But since I'd noticed dead enemy there, my antenna goes up. Hey, there's probably enemies here. End up picking up 2 kills there. And I thought I was going to get health regen immediately. But I guess I'm under suppression right now. So I'm just going to play it safe, not really push anything. And I'm really just moving around a lot for the sake of trying to see where they're coming from and pick people off. So I get 1 kill, and I notice one is going to push me sillily. I don't even know if that's a word. And I would have picked up that 3rd kill there, but, you know, again, shot from behind, it happens. And I can't really be too upset with the majority of my deaths now being shot from behind. It just means that, you know, I can't cover every angle and that I'm taking smarter engagements. Would have been nice to get a 3-piece there, but you know, we're 35-5. I think we ended up finishing this match 36 and 6. So not a tremendously high kill game, but still just applying those fundamentals to avoid unnecessary deaths and just stay in the fight as long as possible and keep my team in the fight as long as possible. And so since I've smoked off there, I decided to go for revives. I set down deployable cover to safely revive my teammate here. And the deployable cover goes down immediately, so it was kind of all for naught. I think that's the 36th and final kill that I get this game. Nope. Oh, maybe I finished with 37. Interesting. Yeah, I hit the replay buffer too early and I didn't save like the final scoreboard, but it's okay. And so we're doing a really good job of just holding the hill here because they aren't actually even able to get close because we're just any lane that they're trying to push. We're doing a really good job of rotating and cutting off those lanes that they're really wanting to take. So we're making them fight on our terms and not really giving them much of an inch to take. They almost broke through when they switched up the first time, but my team, luckily in this instance, was pretty good and they caught on to a lot of that pretty quickly. I see some people pushing into the hill, so I'm going to try and cut that off. I don't really have a good shot, so I don't want to just take it. And that's the thing too. That's another thing that will get a lot of players killed is like they'll just try and take a shot that's like super crazy, and they'll maybe hit 1 or 2 bullets on someone, and it's like, okay, well now you've given your position, you didn't get the kill, and you've achieved effectively nothing. And so I'm hearing sniper shots. I don't see a glint, so I'm just trying to keep my head down and keep moving, making it harder for that sniper to hit me because I don't know where he's at. Setting deployable cover on this staircase that the enemy team likes to run up again. And I end up getting flanked. It's okay, though. It's not the worst thing that could have happened. We're still wearing down their tickets.
I'm hit.
Wait, well, what are we at? 38 and 6 right now? I think I end up getting my teammate killed requesting this revive, but... Yeah, he actually did get killed, so now I'm going to try it. Maybe we ended up getting more than 37 kills. Dang, okay. I'm wondering if I'm going to see another final scoreboard in this clip. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this... kind of doing this from the hip, this different style of video. Again, I'm going to provide concealment for my teammates here to move through and push that lane, and I'm going to go start checking other lanes because there's really no reason for me to go run to a lane that 3 people are going to. I didn't see that guy prone there. Unfortunate. What are we at? 39 and 6? Yeah, I think I end up respawning here. Yeah, 39. So we're 39 and 7 at this point. 16 assists. A lot of that is probably from the smokes. And so again, I'm just trying to be as annoying as possible, cutting off lanes, cutting off lines of sight, setting down cover for my teammates, getting revives, just negating all the effort that the enemy team is putting in. So we either finish with 39 or 40 kills. Again, not the craziest high kill gameplay you'll see, but, it's nice nonetheless.